Tonight I want to do a quick video just because I'm sitting around doing this anyway, so I figured I'll videotape it and sort of give a little, this is going to be less of a demo and more of almost a tutorial a little bit on how to build a tone with the HX effects using an amp, obviously. I've got my Boss Katana set up. Alright. We're going to go ahead and bypass the HX effects real quick and just let you hear the clean tone from the Katana itself. So that's just the clean Katana there. As you can hear, it's sort of a, it's right there on the edge of breaking up, which is where I like my clean tone to be. So that's that. Now, we're going to go into the signal flow and first look at the things that don't have a foot switch, because they don't have a foot switch. First one is going to be the first thing in the line is the kinky boost effect. Now, we'll turn it off real quick. And again. There's just the clean tone. Then we're going to turn on the kinky boost. Turn it off again. Turn it on. So that stays on pretty much all the time. I like it. It's a good effect. The only way it would turn off is if I set up a snapshot to have it off. But I just like having that on. I think it really tightens up the sound of the amp. So there's that. The next one that is an always on, doesn't have a foot switch, is my Tin Man graphic EQ. Now, right now it's just set flat, so I can turn it off. And it won't make any difference because it's not doing anything. But it's there in case I want it. If I need to change my EQ some and don't want to try to fool with the actual amp or want to have more control, this gives me 10 different frequencies I can dial in. So that's what that's there for, if I just want to dial it in for the room I'm in or that sort of thing. And then the other one that's always on is a gain expression pedal setup. The pedal's not currently plugged in, but I've got that on there just because honestly I just thought it'd be kind of fun to have that as an option to be able to use the expression pedal to swell the gain in. That might change at some point. I just now set this one up, so I haven't really got to play with that. So that might change to something else, but for now it's going to be a gain pedal. Alright, so that gets us done with the ones that don't have a foot switch. So now we're on the fun ones, the ones that actually have a foot switch to control them and thus be turned off and on. So here we go. That's our clean tone with the kinky boost. So the first one I've got 3 different drives on here, which is sort of 3 different stages of drive, because I like overdrive. Most of the stuff I play, I need different levels of overdrive. So the first one I got in here is the Minotaur, which is supposed to be a Klon sound. Always a great sound to have. So there's that one. It's just a good light sort of overdrive. You know, it's not super heavy, but it's heavy enough that it gives it a little oomph. The next one I've got on here is the compulsive drive. And that one actually stacks pretty well with the Minotaur, so you can have them both on. honestly reminds me a little bit of almost an AC/DC sort of sound. But that's those two. Then my third overdrive that I've got on here is a fuzz. It's the Fuzz Pi, so it's meant to be sort of a big muff sound. And again, it stacks pretty well with the Klon. Something that I'm learning is that the Minotaur or the Klon effect just really goes well with other overdrives. So it can, you can have the compulsive drive on and hit that Minotaur to give it that little extra. Just to give it a little extra oomph. So that's good to have. And then I have 3 other effects set up that can complement those different things different ways. First one up here, we've got a Dimension chorus effect, which I love. It's my favorite chorus in this thing. Then you throw on the Minotaur. Couldn't resist. But that's the Dimension. I love that one. It sounds great. I use it a lot, so it's on there. The next one I've got set up is the Gray Flanger, and I've got it set up to a tap tempo. But a fairly slow tap. So it's going to be almost in a pretty wide range. So it's going to be kind of a jet flangery type of sound. Now you can't hear it super great on the clean tone necessarily, but you throw on a little overdrive of some sort and it sounds pretty good. I like it. It gives a little movement to those, parts we're going to be holding out one chord for a while. So it's a good effect. And then the last one I've got on here is a double tank, which is just a reverb. It's one of the Line 6 reverbs. I like it. If you throw on, say, the Minotaur, fuzz. It sounds pretty good with the fuzz, to be honest with you. So here we go. So, that is that. Now, the next step that I like to do, because I do use them, is to set up snapshots. I've got 4 set up for this one, because that's the most you can have for the HX effects. The first one I've got is my clean, so we'll go there. It is just the always on stuff. You can always switch on stuff. So if you want to throw on that reverb, now if you go back into the preset mode and you select that one again, the reverb is going to be off. Why? Because I didn't save it. If you want to change what the preset is for the what the snapshots settings are, you've got to save after you change it. So if you turn on the reverb and you say, I think I want to keep the reverb on this one, you'd have to hit save and then save it. In case you didn't know that, throw that in there. Okay, my next snapshot I've got is my light distortion snapshot, which is just the clon, or the Minotaur. Pretty simple. My next one is my stack of the Minotaur and the compulsive drive. Alright. And then for my last snapshot, I did the fuzzy jet, is what I called it. It's got basically your fuzz with that jet flanger sort of sound going. I like that sort of sound. I think it's a good one. And that's the 4 I've got set on here. So we'll go back to our clean one there. And so that's sort of how I do it. I try to set up, figure out the 6 switches I want to use, and then everything else I can try to keep always on and just change off and on using snapshots. Obviously, I'm sure you know, if you've got one of these, you can assign 2 different effects to one switch. So you could have, say, if you wanted to always have your Minotaur turn on whenever you turned on compulsive drive, you could put them both on one switch and turn them both on. Or if you wanted those 2 to alternate, you could put them both on one switch and have them alternate when you hit the switch. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with this thing. This is just sort of the process that I take. If you liked this video, if you found it useful, let me know, and I can try to do some more like this, just sort of going through how I set stuff up and different ways I do stuff. Not that I'm any sort of genius at this or anything, but I play around with it a lot. So there's that. Now, one thing I will throw there, right now I've got it on a clean channel on the Katana that I've set up specifically for pedals. You can run this into a dirty channel. It'll sound pretty good too. It'll just be different. So we're going to do that real quick just so you can hear it. This is this is Juka Neri's matchless reverb patch that he sells. And then we're going to unbypass this. see it's different than the clean. And then you can turn on the clon, or you could turn on the OCD, or you could turn on the fuzz. The fuzz doesn't really sound too great going into that patch, to be honest with you, so I probably wouldn't use the fuzz, but you could turn on chorus. Or you could turn on the flanger. You turn on the reverb. Now, that's going to be a little weird, because if you do that, you've got a reverb technically going into distortion, which is not the usual way you would set that up, but you could. I mean, you know, won't hurt anything necessarily, just be different. That being said, the HX effects, as far as just setting up a little board for yourself like this, is pretty easy to do. It's not too hard. The best way to do it is you got to start off getting your clean tone where you want it. So go back to the. And if you start out with a tone you like on just your amp, then when you turn this thing on, you'll have something you like too. So that's going to be the video for tonight. Just something real quick here. Just a quick little sort of walk through. Like I said, if you enjoyed this and you want to see more things like this, let me know. I'd be glad to do them. It's no problem. If you thought this was a complete waste of your time, let me know that too. That's fine. I still might do it anyway because I kind of like them, and it helped me sort of think through my process a little bit to talk it out. So there's that. Y'all have a great night. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time.